It's fair to say that I'm not exactly a meticulous collector when it comes to retro video games. I'm a gamer first and foremost, and as such I tend to buy loose copies of most cartridge based systems. The few boxes I own tend to be on the tatty side, to say the least. Enter this copy of Banjo Kazooie, which I've owned for as long as I can remember. It lived in a damp garage for a while, where it became crushed, dog-eared, scuffed, ripped, and the manual got chewed. Yikes. Don't worry, I take much better care of my games these days, but this one is certainly in dire need of some TLC. Recently I've been watching some YouTube videos on box restoration, and I think I've picked up a few techniques to hopefully get this box looking a lot less sorry for itself. So let's see how well this goes. For the first step I used a sensitive baby wipe to gently clean the box to remove any dust or grime. I tried not to spend too long doing this, as I didn't want to get the box wet. After I was done I used a kitchen towel to mop up any leftover moisture. The next step involved an appliance which I must admit gets rarely used in my house, an iron. I used a wooden board as a flat surface and laid down a sheet of baking paper, or parchment paper if you prefer, then laid the box flat on top of it, then lay another sheet on top of the box. With the iron on a low setting I then passed over each section a few times, then flipped it over and repeated the process again. The iron gives a warped or crushed box a lot of its shape and structural integrity back. Once finished you end up with a nice flat rigid box. Lovely stuff. Next it was time to tackle some of the tears, rips and dog ears. I slightly watered down some PVA craft glue and used a small paintbrush to apply it to the necessary areas. With the dog ears I tried to make sure to get glue on all of the separated layers before giving it a little squeeze together. For the slight tears in the corner I applied a line of glue on both the inside and outside of the box. PVA dries nice and clear, so although I tried my best to be neat I didn't worry about it too much. I also reattached the tab which had come off, although I had to use a bit of electrical tape on the inside to reinforce it. Speaking of electrical tape, after some deliberation it's also how I decided to repair the lightly chewed manual. I didn't film it because I thought I'd make the internet angry with this one. Generally any kind of repair with tape is considered a no-no, but in this case it honestly seemed like the best option. The black was almost a perfect colour match and provided a nice strong repair. It looks surprisingly seamless at a glance, and certainly salvages a manual that was otherwise ready for the bin. The last step involves every toddler's favourite pursuit, colouring in. Using a felt tip pen I gently recoloured the exposed card and worn areas around the box. I'm using quite a fine tip here, but later I switched to a larger one which seemed to work just as well and sped up the process a little. I went around all edges of the box and went over some of the noticeable cracks on the front and sides. I used a red pen on the red areas on the back and a green pen on the green side. I tried to do the same on the purple sections, but the pen I was using came out noticeably darker, so I decided to just leave it alone. Black is certainly the easiest colour to apply without it looking noticeable. I also did the same on the manual and voila! I think we're finished. All that's left is to reassemble everything, pop it in a nice box protector and admire the transformation. I'm actually really impressed with how this restoration turned out. It looks even better in the flesh too. The camera seems to catch the recoloured areas a lot more than the naked eye does, but the black areas really do blend in remarkably well. At a glance you'd be hard pressed to tell there was anything amiss. For a box that was in such poor condition I'm blown away by how good it looks now. I'm not sure I'd recommend using such extreme measures on a rare or expensive box, but for any common titles that are in similar shape to this, it seems like a great way of making them display worthy. I'm certainly going to be tackling a few more Tatty boxes in my own collection. So what do you think? Should damaged boxes be restored, or do you think they should be kept as original as possible, regardless of condition? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more repairs of Tatty boxes then let me know, I have quite a few. Take care and thanks for watching.